What's cooking, Juventus fans? Welcome back to your old lady's favorite YouTube channel. I know it's a little bit late today compared to my normal time that I drop videos, but we still got to get the news to you each and every day. The big names today, of course, are Raspadori. He's a continued growing star when it comes to Juventus' Mercato, and I think he's going to remain there, as well as some new names popping up there with Juventus, and maybe names that are re-popping up when it comes to Bremer. Maybe he's an option to come back to Juventus, as well as the situation with Big Z. You know, I got to cover it all. Stick with us, we'll fill you in. Ciao ragazzi, welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone. My name is Justin Sofro. Today, it is Wednesday, April 27th, 2022. And of course, I got your latest rundown of all things Juventus, all the news you care about. Maybe a little later today than normal, but anyway, you still got it today. Before we do anything though, go ahead and hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. Again, can't emphasize it enough. Hitting that like button really does help. If you enjoy the channel, if you enjoy what we do here, the live streams, the daily videos, any of it, even if you don't like me, maybe you like Alejandro, maybe you like Julian, hitting the like button on all these videos truly does help. So we appreciate it. I'll give you the time to do that now. But let's jump into it. What news do we have for you in today's special? First up, it is the Raspadori special, the Sassuolo. Following Juventus' victory over Sassuolo, he shined. He got his goal. He participated well, and of course, he brought the energy, the exact energy. You know, people say I bring energy to the channel. He's going to bring the energy that Juventus needs there in the striking role. With the news there, Tutto Sports reporting that Juventus have already contacted Raspadori's agent, Tullio Tinti, who has had an excellent relationship with that of Maurizio Arrivabene. You're speaking music to my ears? That's what I meant to say. Whatever, it's been a long day. There are no negotiations yet between the clubs, but the will seems to be there on both sides. Raspadori wants Juve wants Raspadori, and it seems that each of the members, his agent, as well as Sassuolo, are all willing to abide. Continuing on with that topic, it seems to some figures, some early analysis of what could happen and how they could work this deal out. Gazzetta dello Sports reporting about Raspadori saying that Juventus and Sassuolo could find an agreement for a 2-year loan with an obligation to buy, plus maybe a player for the sale of Raspadori. Sassuolo values the player at 30 million euros. So we'll see who could get included. Maybe some names that we popped up previously, that of Rovella, that of Fagioli. Maybe those are options that could be utilized. It seems that Juventus is keen on keeping at least one of those guys in the Mercato, or in the, I guess, following the Mercato and not selling them. But I could see them definitely utilizing one of them to maybe lower the price and demands of Raspadori, while also getting, you know, a more feasible deal in the end to buy the player. So that's how it stands right now with him. Let's continue on, though. Talk about other names that Juventus fans may want to hear about, and that is, of course, the name of Bremer. You know, the Torino center back there. Gazzetta dello Sport is reporting that the name that's first on the list of defenders now is that of Bremer. To get him, however, it will be necessary to overcome the fierce competition of Inter, which is leading the race. Obviously, we know that Inter have been working on this deal for a while with Torino. We also know the difficult uphill battle that Juventus is going to have with Torino when it comes to the situation that is ongoing with, Cairo. With, the manager or the president there. He doesn't like Juventus. Juventus don't really like him either. But they try to they try to work out deals. They try to get these done. Juventus overall has been working pretty well with him in the past. To loan them out players, Mandragora, other players like that. But at the same time, he hasn't reciprocated that to us. So we'll see if he's willing to come back to the table. Maybe that piece of Gatti. Maybe we pontificated a little bit that maybe Gatti could be used as a bartering tool. Hey, you're about to lose Bremer either way. We got this nice shiny toy that you wanted, and we got him. Would you like to use him? Maybe you send Bremer our way. We'll send him that way. We'll see how this works out, right? That's the one way I'm looking at it. We'll see if that continues to be an idea or a hypothesis in the future. Next up, we're going to talk about the other members of the backline for Juventus. Obviously, they're in the defense. What's going to happen with them? Are they going to renew them? What Giovanni Albanese is reporting basically on them, saying before entering the market to replace Chiellini, Juve will decide what to do with Dragusin, who will return from loan, as well as De Winter could be a part of the first team squad next season. We'll see if De Winter, if he makes it on the first team next year. Oh wait, I'm thinking Ake. Never mind. De Winter could be another option, or De Winter, I guess, could be an option. I was thinking Ake because I remember Ake got out there and nobody would pass him the ball. That's what I was thinking. But it could be a similar situation. Anyway, continuing on, they say Juventus could offer Rugani a 1-year extension to his contract with a lowered salary, and then followed by that, which, I mean, it's fine. Rugani under Allegri, not a lot of comments that I have really on that, besides that he's looked actually kind of serviceable under Allegri, which is not something I ever expected to be able to say about Rugani really anytime soon, right? Continuing on, though, Danilo's contract with Juventus expires in 2024, and the Bianconeri management could soon offer him a new contract, which I think of any player on the team right now, and maybe not of any player, but of the players that are, more mid-tier, believed, or could have been believed to be mid-tier, Danilo's the guy who sticks out as deserving. He's stepped up in every facet of the game. His defense has been great when he's playing, and right now he's been doing a solid job playing in the midfield, and a role that's not his role, but when you're depleted as much as Juventus have been, he's been sticking it up and doing a fine job there as well. Danilo deserves an extension. He's one of the few players that I will say for sure deserves an extension. And then finally, at 34 years of age, despite a few physical problems, Bonucci is still one of the main players in the Juventus squad. There is a possibility of a contract extension on the horizon for the player. I know people are divided, and he's a divisive player because of the Milan stuff and all they went along with him before. My personal opinion on Bonucci, I actually like Bonucci, but I think, yeah, he isn't as sharp or as maybe as top of a defender as he has been, especially when Chiellini's not there. But at the same time, right now Juventus really cannot spare anybody, and if you can keep him, you don't need to replace two pieces. Keep Bonucci for, maybe another year or two, and then we'll reevaluate the situation, what happens with him. So I could definitely see a new contract for him, maybe, a year-to-year kind of contract, or a 2-year top contract for him, is what I would imagine. But again, regardless of what you feel about Bonucci, right now is not the time to try to have to replace him on top of Chiellini and all the other pieces you've got going on as well. Continuing on, though, other news reports we have right here is more Di Maria the status, I guess, for Juventus. Calcio Mercato reporting saying Allegri would like Di Maria because he wants a left-footed winger on the right for his 4-3-3. Obviously, Juventus wouldn't sign him for too long, given his age. However, this could be an opportunity to develop Mattia Sule. Again, this is something that's not really... it's not really new information, right? We talked about this on the channel. We talked about the idea of utilizing him to maybe try to train Sule. But here's the thing. Do I personally, and this is a question I'm asking you all, the fans, do you believe that Allegri's actually going to do this? There's something had to be going on there, right? There had to be some rumblings there because Sule sat down and had talks, and they said he was happy about the direction that Juventus is going for him. Was there a conversation at the beginning of this season that said maybe this season won't be much for you? You'll do a lot of playing in the under 21, under 20, whatever, U23s, whatever it is for Juventus. You'll get your shots maybe a couple times, but the following season, that's when you're going to be moved up to the first team, and that's when you're going to get some run. We'll see. I still have some serious doubts that Allegri is going to utilize him in that fashion. We'll see if it does. I know I've said a lot of we'll sees, but again, I need proof before I really buy in that Mattia Sule is really going to be utilized. And even if Di Maria is here, that he's actually going to be trained under Di Maria, right? But anyway, obviously Di Maria would be a solid option to bring into Juventus. Next story up, guys, and I got to prepare a lot of you all for this. It's going to be a rough one. It's going to break a lot of hearts. It's going to, it's going to be a hefty one, right? This is what it is. It is what it is. So I report to you with a solemn heart, a heavy heart. I don't know. I tried to see if I can get one tear to come down my cheek because that's how I feel, right, about this news story, and that is, it's okay, Justin. It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. We can do this. We can get through this report. All right. Di Marzio is reporting that the negotiations for the transfer of Big Z Zaniolo could soon break down due to Roma's high demands. Deep breaths. Okay. Juventus are keeping a close eye on the young and talented player, but if Roma continue to demand 60 million, choking up. Okay. If they continue to demand 60 million euros, the chances of seeing him in Turin in the summer would be minimal. Take a moment of silence, guys. Why, God, why? Okay. It is what it is. It may appear that Big Z may his chances of coming to Juventus may be dwindling to the ire of most Juventus fans. I know most of you will be heartbroken to hear this. So I apologize to all of you. You are all with me in spirit tonight. I will say a prayer for you and your family to help you get through this moment. It's going to be difficult. We're all going to be sad, but we're going to pull through. Big Z, and I want to say there's some positive things there, though. Just because Big Z may not be coming this Mercato, and that's what the latest reports, we'll see if Di Marzio's right, but at the same time, Big Z could always come the next Mercato. So there's always a place for Big Z in our hearts. As Juventus fans, as people that care, Big Z, you're never done. You're never done with Juventus. As long as I'm here, you got a place at Juve, Big Z. All right, let's continue on with the news. That was a difficult one to get through. I apologize, guys. I got a little emotional there. I'm sure a lot of you are too, but we got through it, okay? Next up, we have Mercato d'Italia reporting saying that the name of Jeremy Doku re-pops up for Juventus, who has already inquired about the winger during Rugani's loan, is an idea in the area of the pitch. So that's an idea. It's a winger, but he's also 19 years old. And I will believe it when I see it that you bring in a 19-year-old to Juventus and he actually gets utilized by Allegri. No chance in hell do I think it's going to happen. No matter how good or useful he could be, I don't see it happening. I can just see him getting sent back down into the youth area for Juventus. We'll see. Next up, another one that's going to be gut-wrenching for a lot of Juventus fans is Calcio Mercato is reporting, of course, a lot of what we already know, except for just opening a new option for him to depart, saying that Roma are now targeting Federico Bernardeschi, who, barring a surprise move, will not be renewing his contract with Juventus. So definitely Roma is an option. He could go to Roma. Juventus can send him that way. Maybe Big Z will come the other way. We'll see. There's still hope. There's still hope, guys. It'll be all right. We'll get through this. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. All right. Next up, Gazzetta dello Sport reporting saying that UEFA has neither the time nor the desire to punish the 3 Super League teams right now. That doesn't mean forever, but just right now. This will be different in 2023 and 2024. A fine of about 15 million euros plus withholding 5% of UEFA's money from them could have happened. The clubs could get suspended if they don't agree. So if they battle it, if they could whatever, they could try to suspend them. We'll see what happens. I still have faith in Juventus and the leadership and their legal teams, and their battling that they'll pull through, and that hopefully Schifrin won't have his way in trying to crush the teams. But it's a good sign that they will still have to hold off maybe for a whole nother season. So we'll have 2022-23, but then that next season could be a rough one if things don't get sorted out in a positive manner for the Super League clubs, including Juventus. And then finally, a little wrap-up of the injury issues going on with Juventus. Juventus Gazzetta dello Sport reporting to saying that Deschilio underwent examinations today, was suffering a problem against Sassuolo, which ruled out a muscle injury and revealed a strain to his right thigh. He will be assessed on a day-to-day basis. So kind of good news if you're worried about him being out for an extended period of time, but he still could miss some playing time. We'll see. As it stands right now, though, Juventus, I think they need to get 5 points, 5 points, something like that to secure top 4, depending on how the other teams fell. I believe it's something like that. It's dropped now from needing 6 or 7 or whatever it was to now only needing about 4 or 5 points. So that means a win and a draw, or it could mean 2 wins or a win and 2 draws or whatever. You do the math. You know what I mean? So we still have some positivity moving forward. Let's just get through the end of the season. Ake is recovered, so that'll be good when he continues to not get utilized by Allegri. And then Locatelli's season might be over. We kind of knew that was a possibility. Allegri had talked about that in his press conference the other day. Unfortunate, because we could really utilize him, especially, who cares about Serie A right now, just in the Coppa Italia final. You need him there. McKinney is working to be ready for the Coppa Italia final, so that's hopefully Weston will be ready, and hopefully he'll be there to bring a little bit of firepower and some attacking creativity there to the midfield as well. So that's the situation as we have it right now when it comes to Juventus, the different players they're going after, different players that may be off the table. Let me know your all's thoughts in the comments section down below. If you haven't already, please like the video, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon to join our community and all that good stuff that we have here. If you haven't already, consider joining the member squad. It's thanks to them. They're able to do all the videos, all the lives, all the cool stuff we do on the channel is all thanks to the members of our channel. So appreciate that, especially if you consider joining today and thank you for doing that. Also, make sure you go follow Bianconeri Zone at Bianconeri Zone, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and follow me at Justin Sofer on Twitter as well. I'll see you guys next time. Forza Juve, Forza Bianconeri.